Morning. Welcome to the North York Moors National Park, and welcome to my first attempt at vlogging. As you can see, picked an absolutely spectacular morning. The scenery, stunning. Yep, we're clagged in. Hopefully it'll lift as we get going, and I'll be able to show you one or two of our local landmarks. See you soon. Well, here we are at our first landmark, one of the most iconic in this area. I'm sure you all recognise it, the Yorkshire Matterhorn, Rosebery Topping. I think I'm going to have to do one of them. There it is, Rosebery Topping. Currently stood at the top of Little Rosebery, so we've just got a short drop down and then a climb up the Rosebery Topping, and we'll take a look, see the views from the top. See you soon. Top of Rosebery Topping, and it's a beautiful morning, the sun's shining, so I'll spin you around and show you some of the views. In the distance we've got the North Sea over towards Redcar, and you'll have to believe me, but down there is Middlesbrough. As you can see, the cloud is sitting low in the Tees Valley. As we swing round, people who've walked the Cleveland Way will probably recognise that stretch over there. You've got Carlton Bank, and then what's known as the Three Sisters that head towards Claybank, and then up into Round Hill. And as if you've walked it, you'll know it's a really tough section. A bit further round, we have Captain Cook's Monument in the distance, which we will be walking past at some point today. I'll just take it to the edge. Quick look over. As you can see, it's a fair drop. Won't be going any closer than that though. That's Rosebery Topping back in the background. We'll see that again another day, no doubt. I'm now just making my way back up to Little Rosebery, and then we'll take the route a little bit further along, and I'll take you to the next little viewing platform, which is known as the Hanging Stone. We should be there in a few minutes. And here we have the views from Hanging Stone, looking out over towards the North Sea. We have Gisborne in front of us and all the Gisborne Forest. Spectacular views. As you can see, Hanging Stone is a naturally formed sandstone outcrop which is typical of the area. Lots of the viewing points made of sandstone, Rosebery topping, this, and where we're heading to next as well, where we should be in about 15 minutes time, which is Highcliffe Nab. I'm making my way along to the next location, and I've actually picked up the Cleveland Way National Trail for a short time. The trail actually runs up and over where we're heading next, which is Highcliffe Nab. I'll spin you around and show you. You can see it in the distance. There's your views from Highcliffe Nab, overlooking Gisborne and the surrounding area. And if you'll notice down below, there's also lots of tracks and trails that you can see. You can actually visit this area from the Gisborne Forest Visitor Centre, which is in Pinchinthorpe Village. It has a small shop, cooked breakfasts, there's a picnic area, and there's also lots of small walks, hikes and mountain biking trails. It's well worth a day out for the full family. Come and check it out. I've dropped down off Highcliffe Nab, I've come back on myself, and now I'm going to make my way across the moor you can see behind me. It's a fairly long slog across the moor, but it is a decent path for most of the way. I'll eventually come along Percycross Rig, drop down into New Row, and then there'll be a short road walk along towards Kildale Village. I'm across the moor and I'm now walking along Percycross Rig, and just up ahead I'm going to take a fork to the right, and that will drop me down through the woods and out through New Row, and then eventually towards Kildale. I'm now walking a road section which will take us to Kildale village. Now, I wasn't sure how I was going to be feeling on this walk, with last weekend being the Easter weekend and my son and daughter home for the long weekend. So as you can imagine, it was a heavy session, lots of food and drink, plenty of abuse, and I thought I would be blowing a bit, but I'm feeling quite strong. I feel as if I've blown the cobwebs away. So what I'm planning on doing, if I spin you around, I'm actually going to take a left just before Kildale village, and I'm going to go up to Little Kildale, and then I'm going to climb over the top to Warren Moor, and I'm going to add another 5 or 6 miles, another short loop, which will bring us back round to the other side of Kildale village. I'll spin you around after this car's gone past. Right, the turn is up ahead on the left, and we're going to climb up the road into where you see the little farmhouses, which is Little Kildale, and then we're going to climb up over the top of that moor, over Warren Moor, down into Baysdale Valley, along Baysdale Beck. We're going to follow Baysdale Beck all the way to Baysdale Abbey, and then we're going to climb back out, and we'll come out around the corner, around the edge of the cliff there, and back into Kildale. Just coming up on Warren Mine. In this area, in the mid 19th century, there was quite a big find with regards to iron ore. Where I come from, around Middlesbrough, there were some big finds also in East Cleveland. Now I come from a little place called Eston, and under my local Eston Hills there was a massive hit of iron ore, and that obviously gave birth to the steel industry in the area as well. Now, because of that success, there was test bores drilled all over this area, and there was quite a few other finds. There was also this one here at Warren Mine. The story of this one was that the test drilling showed that there was only something like 25% iron ore in the seam. So in the late 1800s, two separate companies had a go at working this mine, and ultimately they both failed and went into liquidation. In the early 1900s, Balco and Vaughan, who were the big player around the Middlesbrough area, they came and had a look at it, and they agreed with the initial findings. It was only 25% yield, so they decided to go no further with it, and that was pretty much the end of Warren Mine. Basically, it failed, but there is something left here for you to see if you decide to visit the area. This is actually private property now, but they've opened it as a sort of small visitor centre for people to come and have a look around. And what we have here is the downcast shaft. These foundations, which were for the winding mechanism, I think, to operate down the shaft. And at the back end we have the upcast shaft. That one is a little bit deeper. And then obviously the boiler house chimney. Now, according to Wikipedia, that chimney is the only Victorian era ironstone mine chimney still standing. Bit of trivia for you. I've just come over Warren Moor and I'm now dropping down into Baysdale Valley. What a day, absolutely beautiful. When we get down to the bottom of the valley, I'm going to cross the Baysdale Beck and we'll follow that for a 3/4 mile or a mile or so until you can see Baysdale Abbey in the distance, and we'll climb back up out over the moor. Behind me in the background we have Baysdale Abbey, which is actually a Grade 2 listed building, and now I believe it's all private accommodation and holiday lets. So if you fancy staying in the area and doing a bit of hiking, get yourself on the internet, pick up a lovely accommodation. Got a little bit of a pull up out of Baysdale Abbey now. When I get to the top, I'm going to pick up the Cleveland Way, and that will take us down through Kildale, up to Captain Cook's Monument and back to the car park at Gribdale Gate. So we're not too far from the finish now. I'm up out of the moor now and I'm on the Cleveland Way. The Cleveland Way is going to take us all the way into Kildale, around the edge of the cliff, along the road, and then I don't know if you can make it out, it's a bit hazy, but on the hill at the far side we have Captain Cook's Monument. That's where we're heading next, and from there it's just a short drop down to Gribdale Gate car park and the end of this circular. Just come through the village of Kildale. We've got one last climb to do, which is up and over to Captain Cook's Monument, so not too far to go now. It's been a hot one, it's been a tough one, and I will be replacing them lost fluids tonight. Can't wait. There we go, just starting the descent from Captain Cook's Monument down at the Gribdale Gate car park. It's been a good day, it's been a tough day, it's quite hot. There's some good climbs on this route, but it's a really enjoyable route, lots to see. Now, before I bring this to a close, I've got one more truly iconic sight to show you. So don't go anywhere just yet. I'll catch you in a few minutes. I'm currently sat in the village green in Great Ayton. Now Great Ayton was made famous by a man called Captain James Cook. James Cook was born a couple of miles away in the village of Marton, but he moved here at the age of 8 when his father got a job as a farmhand. So basically he was educated and he grew up in the village of Great Ayton until he left at the age of 20 when he moved to Staithes on the northeast coast to further his career. And obviously, as we say, the rest is history. In Great Ayton there is, however, one more truly iconic sight that you must see. If you look over my shoulder, we have Petch the Butcher. Now believe me when I say this, if ever you're in this area hiking, believe me, there's nothing better than finishing a hike with a growler from Petchies. Cheers everyone, see you later.